Hi, this is Greg Cutson with Mantus Marine, and today we're going to put together an M2 anchor. Here we have a 13-pound M2 anchor ready for us to put together. Before we start though, let's talk about all the things that come in the box. You should get the fluke, the shank, the fasteners, and I want to point out that you don't want to accidentally forget or not see that there is a little cotter pin included in this Ziploc bag and accidentally discard it. That's actually going to be key for us to secure the nut onto the bolt. There is also lanolin lubricating grease to put on the bolt. Now today, because we're demonstrating the assembly, we're not going to actually lubricate the bolt, but for your assembly on the boat for final use, we definitely want to use a lanolin grease included. And then there's instructions to help you direct you with your assembly. All right, so first thing we do, we're going to take this shank and we're going to put it into the fluke. But I'm going to actually take it out again and show you something. The fluke has two cavities, one to receive the nut and one to receive the hex head of the bolt. So it's good to note which one is where, and that will help you to speed you up in your assembly. All right, so we're going to put the shank inside the fluke. And we're going to line up the hole between the shank and the fluke so we can put our bolt through. Here I have my bolt. And I'm going to put that bolt through that hole, like so. And now we have the shank and the fluke together and the bolt holding them together. So next I'm going to take this aluminum washer and I'm going to put it on top of the bolt. And want to make sure the aluminum washer is seated such that the washer is actually touching the shank surface. Next comes the washer, and after the washer comes the locking washer, and after that comes the castle nut. Again, we would have lubricated the bolt prior to this assembly. Next, we use a tool to tighten the castle nut. You don't need any other tools on the bottom because the fluke is holding the hex head of the bolt captive. We want to make sure it sits snug so that the fluke is not wobbly but tight inside the fluke cavity. So it's a one solid joint. That's how you know you assembled the anchor correctly. And the bottom of the shank is lined up with the bottom of the fluke. So this anchor is almost ready to use. The last thing we need to do is put in the cotter pin. Notice the cotter pin has a slight bend to it. That is not an accident. That was designed so it's easy for us to get the cotter pin into this tight space. Now the cotter pin is inserted and all you have to do is use your needle nose pliers to splay the ends of the cotter pin. Notice that when I put in the hex bolt, the hole that goes through the bolt was lined up with the divot, the depression in the fluke. And that makes it really easy to put the cotter pin in, as you can see here. All right, so this is what the finished anchor looks like, and it's ready to go on your boat, and hope you enjoyed the presentation and happy boating out there.